So you want to start a business, but with so many options out there, you feel completely stuck. Should you sell a product, offer a service, become a creator, or start an agency? The internet makes it seem like everyone's doing everything and crushing it. And you're sitting there, paralyzed by indecision, wondering what business is right for me. The pressure to figure it out is overwhelming. But let me tell you something that will change the way you think about this. You do not have to pick the perfect business right now. You just need to start. Here's how to find the right business idea for you without overthinking, second guessing, or waiting forever to get started. Hi, I'm Jasmine. I've been a full-time entrepreneur for half a decade and I've built multiple businesses from scratch and I learned a lot along the way. And if there's one thing that I know for sure, it's that most successful entrepreneurs didn't start with a perfect business idea. They started with something and figured the rest out along the way. This video is the first episode in my brand new series, The Ultimate Free Business Course, where I'm going to show you exactly how to start a business from scratch, even if you have absolutely no experience. And I'm going to show you how to find the right idea, get your first clients, market your offer, and actually start making money. So if you're feeling stuck, trying to decide what to do, let me take the pressure off of you right now. You do not have to commit to one thing for the rest of your life. We live in a world that expects us to do exactly that, right? We live in a world that expects us to know exactly what we want to do by the time that we're 18 years old, to pick a career and stick with it forever. But that is not how entrepreneurship works, and life for that matter. You are allowed to pivot. You are allowed to evolve. I have run 3 different businesses and now very soon I'm actually going to start a new one. Why? Because I've grown, my interests have shifted, and I want to create something new, something different. The truth is, your first business is not your final business. It's your stepping stone. So instead of waiting for the perfect idea, let's create your vehicle business, a business that allows you to make money, gain skills, and open doors for your future dreams. And if you're now asking yourself, what the heck is a vehicle business, Jasmine? Do not worry, I will explain in just a few minutes. And if you stick around until the end of this video, you will know exactly how to follow my 5-step framework to build a business from scratch, a business that works for you. You will know exactly how to identify your unique skills, even if you do not think that you have any skills or you don't actually know what your skills are. You will also be able to find a business that you can sustain and that would actually make you money. You will also be able to create a vehicle business that funds your future dreams, and you will also be able to stop overthinking and finally take action. I will also give you a free Notion template that you can start using right away to implement everything that we're covering in this video so you can actually take action and start your business from scratch now and not tomorrow. The problem is that the internet is saturated with business opportunities nowadays, and it can feel absolutely overwhelming and confusing because all of these shiny objects are thrown at you. And you're not sure which opportunity is the best one or the right one for you, and also which one is the most lucrative one. Biz-op offers are business opportunities that people sell you on social media, and you've probably heard some of these before. Crypto, online coaching, real estate, selling digital products and online courses, affiliate marketing, digital marketing, e-commerce, and more recently, tons of AI businesses, such as creating AI models for OnlyFans. The list goes on and on and on. Everyone is trying to sell you the perfect business opportunity, and everyone is claiming that this particular opportunity will give you financial freedom, time freedom, and ultimately be the way for you to live your absolute best and dream life. Now, I think you shouldn't listen to any of those people and most definitely should not buy their courses or whatever else they're trying to sell you, because it simply will not be sustainable for you. I know because I've been there. When I first started out, I got sucked into the hype of a few business opportunities and shiny objects. I dabbled in real estate and e-commerce as well as coaching, before I finally dropped all of that and started to focus purely on my marketing agency. Why? Because I realized that marketing is my biggest skill. It's something I've been doing for years when I was still in corporate, and it's also something that I'm hugely passionate about. So why the heck was I trying all of these other things? I did it just because people online were really good at selling me the dream and the idea that this is the way to my dream life. And that is a huge mistake. Trust me, I know how hard it is to resist all of these shiny objects. There are so many exceptionally good marketers out there, and they know exactly what their market wants. They know that you want financial freedom, time freedom, that you want to spend more time with your family and your loved ones, that you want to build generational wealth and only work 4 hours a day and enjoy your life and do whatever the heck that it is you want to do. But whatever they're selling will not get you there unless you truly, genuinely have the right skills for that particular business opportunity. And you also take an interest in it. So let's say that you have a background in door-to-door sales and that you're interested in real estate, then by all means, real estate might actually be the right thing for you. I'm not trying to say that all biz ops are BS, but the point that I'm trying to make here is that most people fall into the trap of hopping from shiny object to shiny object, thinking that this particular shiny object will solve all of their problems, when in reality, what you really need to do before you start a business is to figure out what are actually your skills and what your interests and passions are. Because then you have the right baseline to go out there and choose the right business model for you. Don't just go on the internet and buy courses blindly. Actually know first what is best suited for you and what works for you. If you don't know what business to start, begin with what you already know. Your skills are the most valuable asset because they give you an instant advantage. And I know what you might be thinking right now, but Jasmine, I don't have any skills that could make me money. Listen, that's not true. Everyone has skills. You just haven't looked at them in the right way yet. Just analyze your life so far and go all the way back to your childhood. What have you always been naturally good at? What have you always been interested in? For example, I've always been good at communication, especially writing, and I've always loved reading. I was the nerdy bookworm when I was a kid, and books were my absolutely best friends. I started writing short stories when I was just 8 years old. I've also always been passionate about language, and I'm bilingual as well. So it was crystal clear to me what my skills are, which made it a lot easier for me to realize what business suits my skill set and what I can offer to others in exchange for money. So here's what I want you to do. Grab a notebook and write down 10 things that you know how to do well. These can be hard skills, things that you've learned like writing, graphic design, coding, video editing, project management, you know what I mean. Or soft skills, things that come naturally to you like problem solving, communication, or leadership. And here's the key. Just because something comes easy to you does not mean that it's easy for others. It's a natural trap that we often fall into. The business world doesn't reward what you know, it rewards what you can do. For example, if you're naturally organized, you could start a virtual assistant business or a business consulting service helping other entrepreneurs streamline their processes. If you're highly analytical and you love numbers, you could potentially offer data analyst services to small businesses. And if you're good with tech, you could be a media buyer, and so on. So let me save you some time. Before you buy another course or get swept up by another YouTube ad promising you passive income, pause. Don't choose your business model based on hype. Choose it based on you. So start there, with your skills, with what you already know. Because when you start from a place of alignment, business becomes so much easier and far more sustainable. Now, the second thing that you need to do is identify your interests, right? Skills are a great foundation, but if you don't enjoy what you're doing, you will replicate the same experience from your 9 to 5 and burn out real fast. So this is why we need to find your bliss point, the sweet spot where your skills, interests, and market demand overlap. This is the bliss point graph that I invented. Here are your skills, what you're naturally good at, then your interests, what you actually enjoy doing, and of course, market demand. What are people willing to pay you? The intersection of these 3 things is where your best business idea lives. For example, if you love fitness and you're great at writing, then you might start writing sales pages for fitness brands. If you love skincare and you're great with social media and have built a large following yourself, you could launch a content marketing agency for beauty brands. Now, it's important that you have all 3 of these, otherwise your business will not be sustainable because you won't enjoy what you do or you will struggle to find people willing to pay for what you offer. I have seen so many people out there follow the advice of just do what you're passionate about and completely neglect doing their research and finding out if there's actually a market for what they want to offer. If there's no demand, you will have a very hard time selling your products or services. Of course, you can create demand, but that is not something that you're able to do as a complete newcomer and a beginner with 0 experience, which is why this bliss point graph is going to help you identify all 3, skills, interests, and market demand, so you're able to create the perfect business for you. Because here's the hard truth. Just because you love something doesn't mean that people will pay for it. You need to actually validate that your business idea has demand. I'm going to make another video about market research where I will walk you through exactly how to go about evaluating your market in depth. But here's what you can start doing right away. First, look at what your market is saying in online forums such as Reddit or social media groups such as Facebook groups, and analyze Google Trends. I personally use Answer the Public, which is a great tool that helps you see the most asked questions from your market, which not only gives you great content ideas, but also gives you great insights into how your market thinks and which burning questions are on their mind, which problems they have, and what solutions they're looking for. And this online research essentially helps you to pinpoint which problems your market has and which services or products they're already using to try and solve their problems. Another thing you want to look at is the competitive forces of your market. How are your competitors doing? And do you even have competitors, right? If there isn't a similar product on the market yet, it's usually not a good sign. Yes, being first to market can have advantages, but again, as a complete newcomer with zero business experience, you do not want to go down that route and make it even harder for yourself. A lot of people think that a saturated market is hard to break into and that having a lot of competitors isn't good. But in fact, it's quite the opposite. Where there's competition, there's a market, there's demand. It's a very good sign because it means that there's a lot of demand for that specific product or service. Thinking that you need a complete brand new business idea is a fallacy. You do not. The best business ideas solve existing problems in a better way than your competitors are doing. And even if a market is saturated, you can still stand out. It all depends on how you position yourself and the unique angle that you bring to the table. And I will cover exactly how you can do that in another video of this free business course. So stay tuned and make sure to subscribe and ring that bell icon so you will be notified when I upload the other videos in the series. All right, the next step is to take all of the above, your skills, your interests, and market demand, and then create your vehicle business. The concept of a vehicle business will take the pressure off of you a little bit, especially when it comes to putting so much pressure on yourself, especially with the pressure that you put on yourself in regards to having to have it all figured out and sticking with the business that you initially chose, because otherwise people will view you as a failure. This is where most people get stuck, including my past self. We think that we need to start with our absolute dream business, but the truth is you do not have to start your dream business right away. You create it along the way. It's kind of like how everyone puts so much pressure on children for them to try and figure out what they want to do after school, what they want to study, if they want to study at all, what profession they want to pursue, what they want to do for the rest of their lives. There are so many multi-passionate people out there, myself included. I was suffering for most of my teenage years and even my early 20s because I simply was so torn between what I wanted to pursue as my career. I knew what my skills were, but I also have so many other interests, including psychology, philosophy, animals, art, music, movies, and so much more. I studied neuropsychology at uni for a year, then I studied literature and language, and even after I graduated with a master's and worked many jobs in marketing, I still was looking for something else because so many people tried to influence me and tried to make me believe that this isn't a great career path for me. And there was so much pressure on me. And I know that most of you will have had similar experiences and will feel a very similar way. Most of my friends and the people I know have felt the same way and are feeling the same way still. I think it's absolute nonsense that we're forced to pick one thing that we're supposed to do for the rest of our entire lives. And when we pivot, we are looked at as indecisive or even as lost, and people put labels on us and say that we have a midlife crisis or something similar, right? It's time to finally break out of those outdated ways of thinking and really break free from the conditioning that we've endured for many, many years. As humans, we always grow, we always evolve. Your values and your interests will change, and that is okay. It's completely normal, it's expected. It's okay to pivot and to start doing something else. I want you to give yourself that permission slip. You're free to pivot in your business or start doing something completely different at any point in time. The first business you're starting is simply your vehicle business. It's a vehicle to get you to where you want to be. It's the bridge between where you are now and the life that you actually want to build for yourself. And that looks different for all of us, and it really depends on what your dream life looks like to you. Let's just say that you ultimately want to only work 3 to 4 hours a day and spend the rest of your time with your family and really focus on raising your children and being present with your loved ones, right? Let's say that that's what you want. Or let's say that you want to start your own skincare brand, a brand that specifically serves people that suffer with rosacea because you suffer with it yourself and you haven't found a suitable skincare brand for your specific needs yet. And you know that other people feel the same way. In the beginning, you won't be able to only work 3 to 4 hours a day. And in the beginning, you will not be able to start that skincare brand because it takes a lot of capital. However, you can start a business based on your bliss point, like we've discussed previously, and you can use that business as a vehicle to get to your ultimate goal. That vehicle business should be a service-based business, simply because service-based businesses are less complex, they are lean, meaning that you will have high profit margins, and the best thing about them is that it takes barely any capital up front to start, and you can actually monetize your skills very fast. And this vehicle business allows you to start making money right away, and it gives you real-world experiences, and it helps you gain even more skills along the way. This vehicle business funds your future dreams and your ultimate dream life. You can earn multi-6 and even multi-7 figures with an easy, lean service business, and then either sell that business and move on, or you can outsource everything to your team and eventually work only 3 to 4 hours a day. And then you can start your actual dream business or focus on other projects. You can do whatever the heck you want to do. There's so many different possibilities and opportunities, and it really all depends on your individual goals and what your ideal life looks like. But this is why I love the concept of a vehicle business, because it gives you the freedom to pivot and to pursue other things in the future. You're investing in your long-term goals. And if your goals change along the way, then you can simply adjust and pivot along the way. That's the beauty of it. There's absolutely no pressure for you to stick with your first business forever. In my experience, this is the roadmap. First, you start a service-based business, then you start making money and you build industry connections. Now you have income and insider knowledge of the industry. And then you can use that money to invest in your other passion projects or launch other businesses. For me personally, the marketing agency that I run now with my husband is my vehicle business. I love what I do, but my ultimate goal is something completely else, something completely different, and my agency helps me achieve that specific goal in the long term. All right, the last step is to take all of the information that we've covered today and start implementing it. Start taking messy action. Yes, messy. Because in the beginning, you simply will not have everything figured out. You will not have all of your ducks in a row, and you will make mistakes. Naturally, it's inevitable. And mistakes are the building blocks to success. Overthinking is what keeps most people stuck. You will not create a business just by thinking about it. You need to take action. I don't want you to overthink this. So here's your personal action plan. First, find your bliss point. Write down all of the skills that you have and then jot down your 3 main interests. Then fill in the bliss point graph, find your perfect business idea and start offering it as a service now. To make it easier for you, I've created a free Notion template that you can download right now by clicking the link in the description below. This template will help you identify your bliss point and evaluate market demand. So go grab that now and start implementing it right away. In the upcoming videos, I will show you exactly how to get your first clients, how to create an irresistible offer, how to market it, and much, much more. So if you found this valuable, please stay tuned for all the upcoming videos in this free Ultimate Business Course video series, and make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you never miss an upload. I will speak to you next time.